All right, let me know if you can hear right now. All right, thank you very much. I think it's 6. We need to start. Others will come and join us. And then the lesson will also be recorded as well. Right. Welcome to the first edition of Get Simplified Channels YouTube live video, which we are going to have regular meeting on this channel as well. Today, we are going to focus on text functions. I believe most of us, we are yet to start text function in our various schools, but this is one of the most challenging topics when it comes to grade 12 spreadsheet. So today we are going to go through this and then solve as many as questions that we can. Right. So when you talk about text function, we will be looking at the following. One, concatenate or concat, or text join, or an ampersand symbol. Right. We can use any of these to combine cells, text, or numbers as one value. And then we also have another function called left function, which is used to extract certain number of characters on the left hand or from the beginning. And then again, we have right function, which takes or extracts certain number of characters from the right-hand side or from the end. Then we also have another function called mid, which can be as an alternative to left or right. The mid function is used to extract number of characters from anywhere. It can be from the beginning, from the middle, or close to the end of the document, or at the same time from the end of the document. So we are going to look at it as well today. Then we also have the len function, which we use it to determine the number of characters in the text. And then we also have the find or search function. These two functions work the same way, so we'll be looking at it as well. We also have the upper function, which converts all the letters in a string to uppercase. And then we also have the lower, which converts all the text into the lowercase. Then we also have proper function, which capitalizes the first letter of each word in a text string. Those of you who have joined us, I've shared with you a link for the data file that we are going to use today. So if you have access to internet, or maybe if you have laptop, you can also download it. It's a spreadsheet. So when you go to the grade 12, when you open the link, you will see Excel spreadsheet for cell entries video. So you will find it and then you will download it for me. Right, so I'm going to make use of that one, then we practice these questions. Right, I'll open one activity as the first spreadsheet file. So before I start solving questions, I'm going to make use of this worksheet. And then I make reference to these functions. Right. So let's say I have here names, and then, okay, names and surname. Then I want to extract the first 3 characters. And then here, I want the last two characters. And then number of characters. Right, so let's say I have tutor Siani. And then I also have Camogelo, Motupi. Now, if I want to extract the first three characters of the name and surname, in this case, I'll be getting THU. So if I want to extract the first three, like we already know, whenever you are beginning with any function, we start with the equal sign. And then if you want to extract the first number of characters, we use left. So you start typing left, the expression is going to give you a clue. So in this case, you see left, len, and then let. So you double click on the fx before the left function. Is going to open the bracket for you. And then you go to the formula bar, you click on this fx as well. It's better you always use this method so that even if you make a mistake, at least you get a mark for the function name. So here it says the text. The text, you click on the cell that contains the text, which is A2. Don't forget, you don't have to type tutor Siani. You just have to click on the cell reference. And then here it says the number of characters. Because we are looking for the first three number of characters, we say 3. So here is going to give it THU. Now, if you want to autofill, you put a cursor here or the mouse pointer there at that intersection with the autofill symbol. You double click, it's going to autofill for you. So here we have KAM. Right. And now the second one, the last two characters. The last two, meaning that we are going to extract from the end. We are going to take from the end. So we use the right function, equal sign, right, double click on the fx, and then the fx as well here. Now, it says text. Always do not forget, whenever it says text, you click on the cell that contains that text. And then the number of characters, we want 2. Again, you autofill. So this is how we use the left function, and this is how we use the right function. Now, like I said, the number of characters also we use the len function, L-E-N. If you want the number of characters that form tutor Siani, we use L-E-N. So equal sign, len, you double click on fx. Don't forget to click on fx here as well. And then you click on text. Click on fx. Don't forget to click on fx here as well. And then you click on text. Click on fx. Don't forget to click on fx here as well. And then you click on text. Click on fx. Right, sorry, can you hear me now again? From the chat. Right, so there was an echo. So here, again, you autofill. Right, now we can achieve the same result. We can achieve the same result by using the mid function. we can achieve the same result by using the mate function. Right, now, how do we use the mate function? Equal sign mate, and then you click on fx. Then when you open the mate function argument, mate is different from the left and then the right. For mate, you have 3 spaces. We have the text, the start number, and then the number of characters. Unlike the left and then the right, which only has the text and then the number of characters. This one has the start number, which tells us where are you starting from? Where exactly are you starting from? So in this case, right, so the text, you click on A2, the start number, because we are looking for the first 3, meaning that we are starting from number 1. So here the start number will be 1, and then the number of characters, because we need 3, we just say 3. Okay, so here THU, the same as the left. So meaning that we can use the mate function as an alternate function to left or mate function or right function. Now let's also take a look at how we can use, this is mate as alternative. Alternate to left. Now we can also do the same by using the mate function as an alternate to right function. So equal sign, right, mate, and then fx. Now the text again, we click on A2, the start number, because we are looking for NE. So here, the start number, we have to be careful in this situation. We need what we call the find. We need what we call the find. So here, because the find function must be used, because we want to use the NE, the find function must also be used, because these ones are not having the same number of characters. So in this situation, we need to use find function, which we will be discussing in most of our questions. But now, let me only do this one for tutor Siani. Now, where are we starting from? If you start counting, T is number 1, H number 2, 3, 4, 5. Space is also included, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So meaning we are starting from character number 10. And then how many characters do we need? 2. We need 2 characters. So in this situation, we have to make use of the mate function as an alternate function to right function. Right. So basically, this is how we use the left, the right, the mate, and then also the length. Now, let's also look at upper and then the lower, as well as the find function. Now, let me take you through the upper function. Like we said, upper function is used to convert strings or text or characters into uppercase. Lower function is used to convert text into lowercase. So if I press equal sign, upper, and then I click on tutor Siani. So here is going to convert these characters into uppercase for me. Now, if I want it to be in lowercase, I use the function called lower. So if I want in lowercase, I must use function called lower. Equal sign, lower. You double click on fx and then fx as well. So here, the text, I click on A2, is going to convert everything into lowercase. Then we also have proper function. Proper function is used to only capitalize the word, the first letter. So here is already having it. Let's say I was having tutor sign a small t. And then I use the proper function. It's going to make that first t as uppercase, equal sign proper. And then A2. So this one will make the T here is small t, but then here is going to give me capital T. So basically, this is how we use this basic function. So we are going to now combine them or make use of concatenate and then other text function. Let's say I want to join the first 3 characters with the last 2 characters. If I want to join the first 3 characters with the last 2 characters, I have to use what we call the concatenate or text join, or you can also use concat, or alternatively, you can use the ampersand symbol. Right. So if I just go to equal sign and then I click on the first 3 characters, then I use shift and then 7, which is the ampersand symbol. Then I click on the second one. It's going to combine for me, which is called concatenate. Or we could have achieved the same result by using equal sign concat. And then you click on FX. Text 1, you click on the first answer. Text 2, you click on the second answer that you have. So we can use concat or we can use the ampersand to join. Right. So basically, this is the basic text function. So now we are going to start solving questions. If you have any question, don't forget to also do that for me. Yeah, I will do the screen recording and then also share this. If you have any question, you may as well put them in the live chat and then I will address that. Right, now let me start with the first question. Like I said, I created this document basically for text function, trying to get a lot of questions. How examiners mostly ask these text functions. And in most cases, either question 3, 4, or question 7. Now, I will start with the first question, 1 activity. It says, insert a function in cell D6 to determine the race ID in column D of the runners. The code is a combination of the following. 1, the last 2 letters of the cell name. 2, the initial. 3, the number of runners in column A. So now we are going to open 1 activity and then we solve this question. Right, so I open 1 activity. And then according to the question, it says, we need to, first of all, create an ID as follows. Let me increase the font. Right, so we are going to create a function so that we'll be able to develop a code as follows. And now, according to the question, it says the last 2 letters of the surname followed by the initial, which is the first letter of the name in column C, followed by the number of the runners in column A. So in order for us to achieve this, we need to start using the building block. So we are going to make use of building block, and then we'll be able to solve this question together. Now, the last two letters of the surname, that's the first thing. So remember, whenever you are using building block, it should be on the same row. This is the space given to you to solve questions step by step. And I will encourage learners to always make use of building blocks. So here, like, because you are going to put a function here, you are not supposed to start solving the question here. It should be on the row step by step. So I will start on the same row, the first column inside the building block. And then the question says the last three, the last two letters of the surname. We have the surnames here in column B. Now we want the last two letters. So we have to use left function because the question says the last two. So we must make use of the right function, or we can also use mid function. Now, equal sign, right? Equal sign, right? And then you click on FX. The text, because we are dealing with the surname, you click on B6. The number of characters, because we are looking for the last two, so we type 2. So we have the answer here, the last two characters of the surname. Right. Now, the next one wants us to, the first two, the next one says the initial, which is the first letter of the name in column C. The first letter. And remember the first letter, meaning that we have to use the function called left. So equal sign, left. And then the text will be C6. Then the number of characters is 1 because we want only the first letter of the name. Right, so we have this one for the last or the first letter, and this is the last two. Now let's check the question again. It says the number of runner in column A. The number of runner in column A. So this is the number that we are going to add as well. But then if you want all of them into the building block so that you put everything together, you can as well go to this column and insert the number of runner. How do we insert it? Equal sign, then you click on the number of runner, that cell, and then press enter. It's going to give you the number as well here. Now, after this, we are going to put them together, join them together, and that is what we call concatenate or concat, or we can use the ampersand symbol. Now, so now we are going to make use of that function as well, and then we join them. We press equal sign here. You click on the first column, and then we use the ampersand, which is shift and 7. Then you click on the second column, use the ampersand again, shift and 7, and then you click on this as well. So with all these three together, then you press enter. So this is what the question wants. Now let's check again. I think this question also wanted us to change it into uppercase. Like you see others here, they are all in uppercase. So after getting the answer here, if you want to convert this into uppercase, what you need to do is you go to the formula bar just after equal sign, and then you click that side, and then you type upper. So to give you a clue, double click on FX and then enter. is going to convert everything into uppercase for you. Alternatively, we could achieve this after we have gotten this in the same building block. We can use the concatenate. We can use concat, equal sign, concat, and then you click on FX. So text 1, you click on the first text. Text 2, the second one. Text 3, the third one. And then OK. Now, when you have this answer, we can now come and insert the answer here and say equal sign upper. Then you click on your answer. So basically, we can do most of the work in the building block, and then from there, we convert it into the cell where we need to put the answer. Remember, if you do everything in the building block and you don't put it in the cell that the question wants you to insert the function, you might lose the mark. So please don't forget, after you are done with the building block, make sure your final answer is in the cell that the question requires. Right. That's the first question. We will also check the other question. We will check the other question as well. Now, I will take the second question, which is the 3-state. The 3-state is open the 3-state spreadsheet that contains the number of the local and international visitors. Note, select OK for the warning message that may appear. Work in the visit worksheet. A code is needed for each city. Create a code for the city of Ananindil in cell G4 by combining the following. Now, the last 3 letters, the number of characters, and then the random integer. So we can see that here we are combining the text function with the rhyme between function as well. The first one says the last 3 letters, followed by the number of characters, and then followed by the random integer between 100 and 200 inclusive. So I'll open that spreadsheet as well. So 3 states. Right, now, the question wants us to insert the function in G4. The last 3 letters of the name, followed by the number of characters, and then the random between. So G4, here is it. Now, this one, they did not give you the building block, but then you can also create one for yourself if you are not given. But most of the new questions or the recent questions, they always give access to the building block. So let's start with the first. So we are going to start creating a building block on the same row. So you can create, I can create a small building block here. Right. So I'll create a small building block. And then the first one says the last 3 letters of the name of the city, meaning the last 3, we have to make use of text function called write function. So the last 3. And then the second one says followed by the number of characters of the name of the city, of the state. Of the state. And then lastly, random integer. between 100 and 300 inclusive. Random integer between 100 and 200 inclusive. Right. So this is the question. First of all, we need to find the last three letter name of the city, and then the number of characters of the state, and then the random integer between 100 and 200 inclusive. So because of the last three, we have to use a function called right function. Equal sign, right? You don't need to wait to type the whole function. So when it gives the double click on the fx and go to the formula bar again, click on this fx. Now it says the text, because we are looking for the name of the city, the text will be on the same row, the name of the city. And then the number of characters, we are looking for the last three. So we will need 3. Right. And then the number of characters of the state. Remember, we said the number of characters, we used a function called len, L-E-N, len. So equal sign, len. You click on fx. So here, the length of the name of the state. Actually, the length gives the number of characters, counting how many characters form that state. And then here, random integer between 100 and 200. Whenever you see that type of question, we use a function called rand between. Equal sign rand between. Rand function only gives between 0 and 1. But then if you want between a specific number, like this situation, it says 100 and 200, we have to use rand between. And then you click on fx. The bottom is 100, that's the starting value. And then the top is the highest value, which is 200. Okay. Remember, it says volatile, it's random number. So it keeps on changing. Even when I double click and I press enter, the value will still change. So whenever your value changes in the examination, don't be worried, it's fine. Right. So after getting this, now we are going to put them together. We are going to combine them. So how do we combine it? We can use the concat function, or we can use the ampersand function, which is the shift and 7. So we start by pressing equal sign. You click on the first answer, followed by shift and then 7. Click on the second one, shift and 7, and then the third one. When you are done, you press enter. So this is our answer. If you want it to be autofill, put the mouse pointer there and double click. Now, it doesn't show anything here, all because we did not autofill here. You must autofill. If the question wants you to autofill all of them, don't forget to autofill whatever that you have in the building block so that it will work in the cell where you must place the answer. Right. So this is how we combine text function with random integers or random numbers. Now, we move straight to the next question. These are the basic text functions, combining them. Now, this question also, 3 course, I'll urge you to also do it, but then I'm going to assist you with this one as well. 3 course, working in the members worksheet. The first 3 letters, remember first 3, meaning that we have to use left, followed by a random 3-digit number. Now, here, this question confused most learners because it says random 3-digit number. Unlike the previous one, whereby it says random integer between 100 and 200. Here, it says random 3-digit number. Now, with a 3-digit number, that means any digit that has only 3 digits or values, which start from 100. So 3-digit numbers, don't forget, it starts from 100. That's the first one. Up until 999. Because 1000 is not 3-digit number, it's 4-digit number. So meaning that This question wanted us to use rand between, whereby the start number is 100 and then the ending number is 999. Right, now let's look at this question again. So I will solve it also with three calls. Don't forget, you can get all these spreadsheet for free. I've attached them. You can get them also. Try to solve all these questions. I will share this question also as well with you. You solve them from the easy type of questions to the difficult questions. And then I'll also make time for grade 11. Somebody asked for grade 11. I would have time for grade 11 and grade 10 as well. Before we write the June examination and then prep, we'll be having more of these sessions. Right. Now, 3.5. This question says, first three letters of student name, followed by a random 3-digit number, followed by a text, which is hashtag circus. So now this is also a text that needs to be added to our text function. Now, we work in the members worksheet. So we start here, 3.5, the first question that says we need to right. I wanted to check. Right, so let's start with this question. Don't forget, we need to use the building block as well. We need to use the building block. Whenever you are doing text function, make use of building block so that your work will be easier for you. Now, the first one says the 3 letters of the student name. So because we are inserting the function in row 10, in the building block as well, it should be in that row. Now we start the last 3 letters of the student name. We use write function. You see the first 3, sorry, it's the first 3 letters of the student name. So we use left. And then you click on FX. Now the text should be the student name on the same row, not the surname name, which is column B. The number of characters will be 3. So we got our first 3 letters. And then secondly, the random 3-digit number, we use rand between. Rand between. So equal sign, rand between. And then FX. The bottom will be 100, 3-digit number, the first value is 100, and then the top is 999. And then followed by a text called hashtag circus. So now this text must be typed also here by using the inverted comma. Hashtag, put inverted comma, hashtag circus, or you can just type it there like that. Hashtag circus. You just type it in that cell. Now, after having all these 3, we need to concatenate it. We need to combine it, or we need to join it. So here, instead of me to use the shift and then that ampersand, I'm going to use text join. I can also use text join to get that answer or concatenate. So equal sign, text join, and then this. So you ignore that one. Delimiter would be maybe space. And then here, ignore empty. Then test 1 will be, so delimiter, you can just leave it or space. And then here, test 1 is this one, test 2, and test 3. Right. But now, if the easier one that I will always advise people to make use, it will be either concat or just use the end function. Equal sign, you click on the first answer, followed by shift and then 7, because that one you will never forget it, just like adding. Then you click on the second one, shift and 7, then the third one. Right. So basically, this is how we use text function combining the left with the right or the mid function. Now, we will look at other questions that involves mid function, and then we will also look at the advanced text function. Now, this question wants us to add the number between 1 and 50, followed by the first 2 letters of the athlete name, and then the registration number. So this is also similar to the other questions. The number between 1 and 50, meaning that you are going to make use of rand between. The first 2 letters of the athlete name, we use the let function, and then followed by the registration number. So basically, these are the functions that we'll be looking at. Now, I would like us to check this question also as well. It says, complete the code by adding 09 to the last 2 letters of the country. That means also concatenate. I want to check questions that are different. Right, this one needs the surname, the full stop, and then the first letter. So let's look for this question, 3_survey. Let's do that question. There are so many questions that I've prepared that will assist you as well. Then you have to make use of these questions. 3_survey. Right, now this question wants us to also generate a code as follows. The surname in column C, followed by a full stop, followed by the first letter of the name, and then at school.za. And we need to put the function in column F. So we are going to put the function in column F. Right, for the emails. So we should not forget to put or make use of the building block. The first one says the school name or the surname, followed by the full stop, followed by the first letter of the name, and then at school. So we have to use the building block to combine them. Inside the building block, the first one is the surname. So you press equal sign, and then you click on the surname. So you get it in the building block. Now, again, followed by full stop. So you can put full stop also there. And then followed by first letter of the name of the learner in lowercase. First letter of the name of the learner in lowercase. So we use left function because it says first letter, we use left. You click on FX, the text, the name of the learner. The number of characters, 1, because it says first letter. Right. And it says it should be in uppercase or lowercase. So this is already in uppercase. So we need to convert it into lowercase. How do we convert it? So in the next column, we make use of lower, equal sign, lower. And then you click on this answer. So it's going to give you in lowercase. And then the last part says, followed by at school.za. So you type that one also here at school.za. So I think I put a function at school.za. Right? If it's given this, you can make it as a text with a string inside inverted comma. Equal sign. So if it's giving problem when you type because of the at, just put equal sign, then you put inverted comma at school.za. You close the inverted comma. Right. Now, when you have all these, you can now combine them by using the ampersand or concat. So equal sign, then you go and click on the first answer here. Then shift and then 7, you click on the second one, which is the full stop. Shift and 7, you click on this. Don't forget, we don't want it in uppercase, the lowercase one. And shift and 7, and then at school. So here we have our email address. Right. So basically, this is how we do the concatenate and then left or right or mid function. Now, we are moving straight to other interesting function. All right, I think I have something here that we can also share for excursion, which was last year question paper. Now, this one, they gave a screenshot with a contact number. Now, they say the format should be like this. So if the contact number is 087-152-2635, the format should be +27, followed by a space, and then the 0 should not be there. And then say note. There are 2 spaces between the country code and then the number. So here there is no 0. There is no 0. So we need to take out the 0 from the contact number. Now let's take a look at that as well. For excursions. All right, so now we are looking at 4 excursions. They gave a phone number here. Now they say we must make the phone number to be in that format. +27 followed by space. There should be 2 spaces, and then we shouldn't include the 0. Now, so we need to make use of the building block to make sure that there's no 0 in there as well. Now, 0, that one is a text. So we can use mid function to take out the 0. Now, equal sign mid. Now, the text is this one. Start number, we are starting from position 2. Now, how many characters form a phone number? 10. But because we are starting from position 2, so meaning we will need 9 characters. There we go. So we get this one without the 0 by making use of mid function. The text is C7. Start number, we are going to start from position 2, not position 1. And then how many characters are we counting? We are counting 9 characters. Now, when we have this, we have to also generate the +27. So we can put +27 also there. Now, when you type plus 27, it vanishes. So we have to make it as a text by saying equal sign. Then we put inverted comma plus 27. Then you close it. So it becomes a text. And then again, you can put the spaces there. They said they are being separated by 2 spaces. So you put equal sign, inverted comma. Let me enlarge it. Equal sign, inverted comma. You press the space bar twice. 1, 2. You close the inverted comma. So it is there. You won't see the effect. Now, let's put our functions here. Equal sign. The first one is plus 27. And or joining by the number. Let's check the question again. There are 2 spaces before the number. Joining by the space. And then and the number. There we go. So you see plus 27 and 2 spaces there, then the number. So first of all, this type of question, you need to use mid function to extract without the 0 by starting from the position 2. And then you put equal sign plus 27, and then equal sign double space in inverted comma. Then you can now concatenate or join them together. Right. So we have dealt with so many of these concatenate. And most of the grade 12 term 1, they expect this by prep, and then prep and final examination, they will be asking for other questions. Right. Yeah, those who are saying we want the grade 10, yes, grade 10, we can do grade 10. We can do grade 10. I'll put the information there, grade 10, and then we'll also do grade 11 as well. There are also times that we'll do theory. We will have so many sessions as well. Now, I want us to look at text functions that involves or that makes it complicated. Like for instance, these questions, yeah, 4 bookings. I will start with 4 bookings. Now, but before I start that, I would like you to know this also, that combination of text functions, anytime you have 2 compound text within 1 cell, and then you are asked to extract maybe only the first part. That type of question comes with so many complications. Now, there are some questions here. I want to check which question is that. But then I will let you have all these documents. Yeah, 4 bookings. I'll open 4 bookings. It says the name and surname of a traveler is stored in column A. Insert a combination of text functions. So whenever you see this, then there's also, it's a challenging question. Marks can range from 5, 6, 7. In column B, to extract the traveler's surname from column A, you may assume that a traveler only has 1 first name. Right. So I'll open 4 bookings. I'm going to open 4 bookings. Right. So now, this is the higher order questions. The question wants us to only take out the name. Now, anytime the name or the surname here, they want only the surname here, the name. This one wants the surname, which is on the right-hand side. And this one wants the name. Now, anytime you have this type of question, you can see within each cell, it contains the name and surname. And then the name and surname is separated by space. There's a space in between the name and surname. Now, when you have a type of question like this, separated by a delimiter, that type of question, you have to combine certain functions before you can achieve that. Now, because we are looking for the surname, I will start with the name because it's the first one. If you are starting with a name, which involves from the left-hand side, so you need the left function, and then you also need find function or search. Take note, anytime you are extracting from the left-hand side, you need the left together with find and search. But anytime you are extracting from the right-hand side, then that one you need the right, you need the len, and then you need find or search. So I would like you to take note of this, or you can make some few notes. Whenever you are taking from the right-hand side, in this case, this one, if you are taking only from the right-hand side, which is the surname, then that one, you will need right, len, find, and search, or search. But if you are taking from the left-hand side, then you need only the left, and then find or search. Now, you have to start solving these questions step by step in the building block. So we are going to start with the name one. We said we need the left, we need the find, and then we need the search function. So inside the building block, we have to use the find function. Now, what are we finding? We are going to find the position of the delimiter, which is separating the name and surname. So in this case, it's the space that is separating name and surname. So we have to find or search for its position. So as you can see here, the position of this space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's in position 7. So we have to use find or search function in the building block. Equal sign, find. Then you click on FX. Here it says find text. What text are we finding? What text is separating the name from the surname? Is the space. So you press the space bar. Within which text? Space bar from, space bar within, within A10. You don't need to type anything under the start number. Normally, when you are doing a function, then you see the one that are bold here. Those are the ones that are compulsory or they are supposed to be filled in, right? So now we have the position to be 7. Now, after getting this position to be 7, then you need to only go to your formula bar and insert the left function. Remember, I said you need to go to where you must insert the function. Remember, I said for the name, the one on the left-hand side, you need the left or find or search. So now that we have used the find function in the building block, you come here, equal sign, left. Then you click on FX. Text is A10. Number of characters. Then you go and click on the answer that you got here with the find, which is 7. -1. Now, why do we say -1 here? Because we don't want to include the space. So if you don't put -1, that space, imagine it is dash is going to be there. So always, whenever you have that type of function, it should be left, and then A10, This one is the answer for find, and then minus 1. That is when you are dealing with the left, from the left-hand side. Now, if we are dealing from the right-hand side, that's one you need left, you need right, you need the len, and then you need find or search. So here we already have the value for find. We need to use the len function. Equal sign len, and then you click on fx. Then you click on A10. So it gives us the len value. Now, within the same building block, you press equal sign, you click on the bigger value, which is the len, minus the smaller value. So here, the len minus the find will be the number of characters. So in this case, this will be our number of characters, which is 5, that we are going to use for the right function. So whenever you are using right function, it's always going to be the len minus find. Don't forget to use the find function, then use the len function, and then you say the bigger value, which is the len, minus the smaller value, which is the find. So now we can put our function here, equal sign right. Click on fx. The text will be A10. Number of characters. The number of characters will be the value that you got here, which is 5. And then okay. Right. So don't forget, anytime you are taking from the right-hand side, we need right function, we need len function, we need to use the find function or search. Now, after that, you subtract the value for find from the value for len, and then that will be the number of characters. Now, again, if you are taking from the left-hand side, you will need the left, you will need the find or search, and then after that, you subtract 1 from 8. We will be looking at other questions as well involving this type of scenario. Right. Some people are asking for VLOOKUP. Yes, we will do VLOOKUP. We'll do VLOOKUP as well, but not today. VLOOKUP lesson will be on Monday. And then nested if will also be on Monday. So Monday, we will combine VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, as well as the other functions. And then grade 10, we will also schedule a time for our grade 10 and grade 11 as well. Right, now let's look at other type of combination of text functions. So I have here again, for sales. It says modify the function in cell A1 to only display the initials of the customer. And then also this one, for trails, we will look at that and many more of these questions. So I will start with the for sales. Yes, the video will be there. The video will be there. Right. So now we are going to take a look at this function. We also have to use the building block. Now, they want us to extract the initial. Now, as you can see from here, as you can see here, this person, the initial is only 1. This person, the initial is 2. So meaning the initials are not consistent. So if you want to use right function, it will not work. Because some of them, the initials are 1, others are 2, and others are even more than 1 or more than 2. So in order for you to make sure that you get the same answer for all of them, you have to separate the surname from the initial. And then you must check here. The surname and initial is being separated by a common factor or a common character called comma. So we need to make use of the building block. We have to use the building block. And because the surname is on the right-hand side, we need to use the right function. And like I said, whenever you are using the right function, you must make use of the len, you must make use of the find, and then you must also make use of right. So first of all, we have to use the len function. Equal sign len. And then the text, we click on B11. So here we got 15 for the len function. Then the next one will be find function or search. Like I said, search and find function, they are the same. Search. So what are you finding? We are finding comma, because it's comma that is separating the surname from the name, or from the initial. So as you can see here is the comma separating the surname from the initial. So find text will be comma, within which text? B11. So we got the position of the comma as 12. Now, after this, you go to the next column, equal sign. Click on the bigger value, which is find, or which is the len, minus the smaller value. So here we got 3. Now, take note. You are going to subtract one of them from the other. You cannot subtract the smaller value. You cannot say the smaller value minus the bigger value. It will give you negative. So when you are here, equal sign, the bigger value minus the smaller value. Now, the answer that you will get, this will be the number of characters that you are going to use for the right function. So here, after this, you go to this side, equal sign. Now here, they use the mid function. Equal sign, can make use of it as right. Fx, and then the text will be B11. The number of characters will be the answer that you got here, which is 3. You don't need to type 3. You must click on the answer that you got, because it must work for all of them. Now here, if I drag down, then I drag here also, you see this one gave me T, F. So even if I change this one, this initial, to be XCP, it's still going to give me that one. So you don't have to put the number of characters. You must combine 2 or more functions before you can get the answer. So remember, if you are taking from the right-hand side, you need the right function, you need the len function, and then you also need the search or find function. Then after that, you subtract the smaller value that you got from the bigger value. Then that will be the number of characters. So in this case, this was our number of characters that we were going to use, not these 2. Right, so basically, this is how we answer questions regarding the text function. And there are so many questions, or there are so many questions that I'm going to share with you. You have to try it. So if there's a question that you don't understand, you can also DM, you can just put your message there, whether in the WhatsApp channel or under this particular video, and then I'll solve that question for you as well. There are so many questions. You can have a text function together with a lookup. I will give it to you as homework. Then my learners will do for me. And then again, this question also, I think I must try this question for income, 8 marks. Whenever I see 8 marks, 7 marks, I always want my learners to tackle those questions. Even if you try and get 6 or 5, it will be better. Right, now let's look at 4 income, and then why is it 8 marks? The question looks simple, but then it's 8 marks. It says the region and then the division of an employer are stored in column D. Insert a combination of text functions in column C to extract the employee's region from column D. Now, let's take a look at that question as well for income. Seems I don't have it here, but I will add it for income. It's not there, but I'm going to add it to the spreadsheet folder as well so that you can get it. Right, now, this is the question. And this data was already. Now, it says the region and then the division in column D are put together. They are put together. Now, this question wants us to insert a function. Here, the question wants us to insert a function here. And as you can see, the region, which is the South Atlantic and the into bracket South, it wants us to only extract the South into the bracket, not the one from the first letter, because some of them are not the same. Like you see here is Northeast and News. Otherwise, when you drag down, it's not going to give you the right answer. So in order for you to deal with this type of question, we need to use the building block. Now, because the South is not starting from the right-hand side, remember, we want only this. We are looking for only this. Not as, or we don't want the bracket. We don't need this bracket. We have to be careful about the bracket. We don't need this bracket. So we want only the South inside the bracket. This is different from the previous question that we have been doing. And in this type of question, we cannot use right function and we cannot use left function as well. Because if we use right function, it's going to start from the closed bracket, which we don't need it. And if we use the left function, it's also going to start from S, which we don't need S. Here, the South here, we need the one in the bracket. So this type of question, it needs made function, made function. Now, why is it made? Because we are extracting from the middle anywhere in the cell. Now, because of this, mid function and right function, they also need left, and then they also need search or find. So whenever you need mid function, you must make use of len, and then you must make use of find function as well. So I'm going to use len function here as well. So equal sign len. Then you click on column D. Then we need find function as well. Fx. Find text. What text are we finding? What is separating here? We are finding the open bracket because the South comes just after the open bracket. So find text will be the open bracket. Within which text? D11. So remember, we are not finding space because the South does not come immediately after space. It comes after a character, which is what open bracket. And that is why we said find text, we put the open bracket. Now, after this, like I said, you must say minus equal sign, bigger value, minus smaller value. Bigger value minus the smaller value. Right, so now we are going to use the mid function, equal sign mid. You click on fx. The text will be D11. Start number, where are we starting to count from? We are starting to count from the find, which is this one. We are starting to count from the open bracket, the position of the open bracket, and that is K11. Now, do we need to include the open bracket? No. So we say plus 1. Plus 1 meaning that, you remember the K11, the position 16. If we count from south, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 will be the open bracket. We say plus 1, meaning that go to the next character, which is the S. So we are starting to count from S, not the open bracket. That is why I said plus 1. Now, how many characters do you need? That is the answer here, the one that you said 23 minus 6, the length minus find. Now, look at your answer here. It gives you the south with a closed bracket, meaning that here you must say minus 1. So when you are solving this type of question, you say plus 1 here, minus 1 for the number of characters, because we want to exclude the bracket. Like here, when I click OK, it gives me the closed bracket, but we don't need it. That's why I said you say minus 1 to take out the closed bracket. There we go. So we got it perfectly. So when we scroll down here, or when we drag down, and then we drag here also, we get west, midwest, south, northeast. We got them perfectly. So this is the reason why this question was 8 marks. It needed 8 marks because it needed a lot of work before you can reach your answer. You need to make use of the mid, you need to make use of the find, and then you need to make use of the length. You need to also make use of minus 1 and plus 1 so that you can get an accurate result. Right. That is it. Now, I will check from the chat. If you have any question regarding this, you may type your question here and then I'll answer as well. If you have any question regarding the text functions, what we have solved so far, and then I will share this data set with you. You have to practice them as well at home. Oh, someone said the screen is blurry. Let me check. Maybe the I will check it. Right. Sure. If there's no question regarding this, like I said, I will share it. I'm going to proceed to another set of, or the topic, which is we still have some few minutes left. We are going to also focus on nested if or if and then switch. But I'll wait for some few minutes if anyone has a question to ask. 2 or 3 minutes, then I'll move straight to if statement or the nested if statement. Like I said, Monday, I will look at VLOOKUP the same time. And then before that Monday from 4 to 6, I will be with the grade 11s. And then tomorrow will be grade 10. Tomorrow I'll have lesson with the grade 10, spreadsheet and Microsoft Word. Monday, the same time for grade 12. And then grade 12, we'll try, by the time you write your June examination, we'll cover all the topics. I will put the plan there so that when you have time, you join the lesson. Right, I will share the link for the group as well. I will share it now. Right, I'm going to share the link for the group. Right, we are going to look at nested if, and then grade 11 is also very important. You must watch out for these type of questions. Grade 11, you do if statement in term 2, and then also grade 12. So this topic is for both grade 11 and grade 12 as well, not for grade 10. I'm going to look at 4 activities with an if statement. Now, if statement, we also have ifs, the simple if, nested if, which is one if inside another if, or combination of logical functions. That is combination of logical functions, which is you can combine the if statement with the and, or combine if statement with the or functions, or combine if statement with XOR, or combine if statement with not function. We will be looking at some of the questions that demand such. Now, this question, they gave us medal, and it says we must insert a suitable function in J10 to display the amount that Beck Cantu will be rewarded with. Now, these are the medal, which is the platinum, when the amount is 10,000, gold, when the amount is 8,000, silver, when the amount is from 5,000, and then bronze, when it is from 3,000, and no medal, when there is no amount. Right. So let's look at 4 activity and see what the question wants. I'll open 4 activity. Now, I'm going to solve this question using nested if. I'll also solve the same question using ifs. And then I'm also going to solve the same question using what we call switch or lookup, so that you will see whichever way that will be easier for you when solving that type of question. Now we have different medals here. And now the question wants us to put the amount based on the medal. Right. So this question says, platinum is when the amount is 10,000. Gold is when the amount is 8,000. Silver is when the amount is 5,000. And then bronze is when the amount is 3,000. We give, and then no medal, we just put dash there. Right. So what I will do here is the no medal is, let's check there's no medal here. So I'm going to solve the question firstly by using what we call lookup. We can solve this question using lookup, and then also ifs or we can use nested. So I will start with a lookup function, not V lookup or X lookup or H lookup, but rather lookup. So equal sign, lookup. Now, when you say lookup, and then you click on FX, it gives you this select argument. So you use the default one with a vector, which is the curly bracket. Now, it says lookup value. Lookup value will be this one, which is the middle. In this case, I10. Then the lookup vector. And anytime you are inserting a vector, we use the curly bracket. Now, this is what I mean by curly bracket. This bracket, which is, we press shift and then the square bracket. This one is always for vectors or arrays. Now, we use that one to solve this question. So lookup vector, you open that bracket, curly bracket. Then you type the lookups there. Here, the lookups are the platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and no metal in inverted comma. So platinum in inverted comma, separated by a comma, followed by gold, comma. Because it's a text or string, you put them in inverted comma. So gold, silver, bronze, comma, bronze, and then comma, lastly, no metal. Now, when you are done, separated by a comma, you close your curly bracket. Now, the way you type them, starting from platinum, result vector is what needs to be displayed. Now, in this case, the question says, if it is gold, the question says, if it's gold, it should be 10,000 rand. If it is silver, if it's platinum, 10,000, gold is 8,000, like that. So here, the vector, again, the result, what needs to be displayed. Now, because we started with platinum value is 10,000. If it's a number, you don't put them in inverted comma. Separated by, then you go to the one for gold, 8,000, comma. Then you move to the next one, 5,000. 5,000 is for bronze. No, it's for silver. Bronze is 3,000. Then lastly, no metal. No metal, we put dash. So you put dash in inverted comma because it's a character, a text. Then you close your curly bracket and okay. So here, let me see why it's giving me this. I10 is giving me NA here. Let me check where the problem is. Platinum, gold, silver, bronze, no metal for 10,000, 8,000, 5, 3, and then dash. Everything in the formula there looks correct. There's no gold, picking gold from here. Right, I will check why this is giving me hashtag NA because everything was followed. Now, I will use the same approach and solve using the if statement. If statement, which is the nested if. But then the lookup is mostly easier. I will check the other questions. I don't know, maybe it could be from the data or what, but I will check it as well and come back to you. Now, if we are to use the same approach using the if statement equal sign if, and then you click on FX. So the logical text, you click on the value here, which is gold. If I10 is equals to platinum, if I10 is equal to platinum, then it must give the value, if true, it should be 10,000. So if the logical test, which is I10, that we are comparing with on the same row, equals to platinum, then the value, if true, should be 10,000. Now, when it comes to the value, if false, because we need to go to the next criteria. The I10, if it's go to platinum, it should be 10,000. Now the next one is gold. So we are going to do the next one for gold. And now to do the next one for gold, you type if, then you open bracket. Now inside the value if false, the moment you open bracket, go back to the formula bar and check. This is the first if. I10 equals to platinum. Then it's 10,000. Now, the moment I put if with the open bracket, you will see here inside the formula bar, there is an open and close bracket, which is in red font. Go and click inside. It's going to give you the function argument for the second one. Then you repeat the same step. I10 equals to, in this case, it will be gold. And then value if true will be 8,000. Then value if false, you open another if, then with a bracket. Don't forget to open bracket so that it's going to give you the open and close bracket for that function argument. You click inside that one, it opens for you. And then the logical test, you repeat it. I10 equals to, this time is silver. Then value if true should be 5,000. Then value if false, we open another if for bronze. So we are done with platinum, gold, silver. Now we are going to bronze. So if, then you go there and then click inside that bracket, open and close. So logical text, again, you repeat them. I10 equals to, this time it should be bronze. You put it in inverted comma. If it's bronze, then it should be 3,000. Now, value if false. The last one is no medal. But because whenever you are using nested if the number of conditions, here the conditions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if the conditions are 5, you don't do for the last one, you do only 4. If the conditions are 3, you do only 2 if. If the conditions are 2, you only put 1 if. So in that case, the number of conditions minus 1 will be the number of if statements you are going to do. So here, because the conditions were 5, you will use the first if for platinum, the second if for gold, the third if for silver, the fourth if for bronze. Now, the last if, we are not going to do it. Obviously, it will be for the last one if all the conditions are not met. So the last if here, we put the dash there for no medal, and then you click OK. There we go. So you just autofill and then you get all your answers. So basically, the number of conditions minus 1 will determine the number of if statements you are going to use. Right. Now let's look at other questions regarding the nested if. There is another question here also that says insert a nested if function in cell N10 to N13 to classify the respective age groups according to their willingness to pay higher prices for car sharing in column G based on the following. Less than 60% classified as reluctant. Between 60 and 70% classified as cautious, and the 70 or higher classified as willing. So there are three conditions here. Let me color code them so that you will see. Right. There are three conditions. So because there are three conditions, we are going to use, because there are three conditions, we are going to use two if statements. We are going to use two if statements. Remember, I said the number of conditions minus one will determine the number of if statements to be used. So because there are three conditions, we are going to use two if statements. Now, in most cases, it's easier to pick the first and then the last and leave out the middle one. Why am I saying that? Because here, the first one says less than. Let me remove the color code for the first one and put a lighter one. Yeah, less than 60%. So you can easily use the less than symbol. Now this one says greater or equals to, that is 70% and higher. So you can also easily do that. But the problem comes when you say between. Between, that means greater or equals to 60 and less than or equals to 70. So whenever you have this type of nested if questions, you stick to the first and last and leave out the middle. That would be the obvious one. So I'm going to do that one for greater than and do that for less than. Then this one here will be the last condition, which I'm not going to repeat the if statement for that. Right. Now, let's do that for transport. Let's open for transport. Right, I said the grade 10 class will be, I will put it, grade 10 will be tomorrow, grade 12 will be Monday, and then grade 11 will also be Monday. But grade 11 Monday will be between 4 to 6, and then grade 12 Monday will be 6 to 8, the same time. But tomorrow 6 to 8 will be for grade 10, for grade 10. Right, now, let's look at this question again. They say we must open in the mode worksheet with the percentages. Willingness to pay. When the percentage, so we are comparing column G. Higher price for car sharing in column G. So our column G has the percentages. Willingness to pay. Right, and we are going to put a nested if function here. Now the question says, if it is more than or equals to 70%, then we should put a message called willing. And then when it's less than 60, the message is reluctant. So like I said, you ignore the one in the middle, which is between. You stick to the first and then the last one. So equal sign if, double click on this fx, and then the formula bar, like we always do in the function. Now, the logical text, you click on the percentage here, willingness to pay, which is G4. If G4 is greater than or equals to 70, greater or equal to 70. Right. So if it's greater or equal to 70, but here they put a percentage. I'm not sure whether the percentage, yeah, percentage should be there. Greater or equals to 70. That is how we write greater than or equals to. So grade 11, when you see greater or equals to, you put greater than symbol followed by equal sign. If it's greater or equal to 70, then the message will be willing. And then value if false, you put another if, open bracket. Then you go to the formula bar, click inside the bracket for the second if. Now we are done with the first if. So you click inside it. It gives you the second if function argument. You repeat the same step, G4, but this time around, it should be less than 60%. Less than 60%. Less than 60%. Then the message will be reluctant. Then the value if false. Because there are three conditions, we are going to use only two if. So we are only going to type cautious there, not focusing on the percentages. So the value if false, we just type cautious and then okay. So it will give you to the message, you must say yes, so that it will put the bracket automatically. There we go. So basically, when you have this type of question, learners, make sure that you stick to the easy one, the first, and then the last one. The one that says between, don't go there. That should be the obvious one. Don't go there. Otherwise, you complicate yourself because that one will involve using the end function and others. So we don't want to go there. Make it easier for you. Right. There are so many questions here. Now, I'm going to also look at the same for income, whereby it involves nested if, and then again, adding nested if with another function. So I'll open the same for income. Right, I think that one was 2023 question. Let me check for the raw data. 2023 question paper, Northwest. Yes, for income. Now, let's go through the question again whilst we are waiting for the data. Insert a function in cell G5 to display the word qualified. Only if the income for an employee is more than 20,000. Sorry, in column E, and is more than 60 years in column F. Otherwise, the cell should be left blank for 6 marks. Now, because of this word here, and, which is also a logical function. So we have and, we have or, we have not, we have XOR, and the rest. Now, it's combining two columns. That's column E and column F. That's two conditions in different columns. So it says when it is 20,000, more than 20,000 for the income, and the person is more than 60 years. The rest should be left blank. So this question here, I'm going to make use of nested if, and then I'll also make use of if together with the end function. So I will start with if together with end function, and then I'll end it also with the nested if. Now, how will I achieve this question? It says if the income is more than 20,000 and then the person is more than 60 years old, the message should be called qualify. Otherwise, leave it blank. So I put equal sign if, and then you click on FX. Now the logical function here, we put another function called AND, A-N-D. It's a function to combine several logical conditions. So I put A-N-D, and then you open bracket. Remember, the moment you open bracket, you will see open and close bracket in the formula bar for the end function. Go and click inside it so that it opens the function argument for n. Now here you can combine several conditions together. The first condition says the income, which is E5, should be greater than 20,000. The second condition, which is logical 2, the age should be greater than 60. Now, you can add so many conditions, but because here there's only 2 conditions, you can have 5 or 6 conditions. Now, because we are done with these 2 conditions, then you go to the if statement, the first if statement that you open. Just after the if statement, you click there. It says value if true. Then you put the message. The message says qualify. Then the value if false, you leave it blank. Leaving it blank means you press the space bar. Then you click OK. There we go. So here is empty because the income is 100 is not. So the end function, when at least one condition is not met, is going to give the otherwise answer. So here is qualified because this is more than 20,000 and this person is more than 60 years. That's why you see the message qualified. So basically, we combine 2 functions, which is the if and then the end function. Now, at the same time, we could have achieved the same answer by using what we call the nested if. One if inside another if. So equal sign if. I click on this fx, logical text. We start with the income. E5 greater than 20,000. Now, value if true, unlike the previous one that you just put a message there. Here you don't put a message. Where it says value if true, you open another if. Why are we opening another if here? Because there are 2 or more conditions that needs to be met. So we can't put the message here. So we put another if here. Go inside the formula bar and click there to open the second if. And then here, the logical text, the age greater than 60. Now, if you were to have another one, you go to value if true as well. Now, because here we are done with the first if, and then together with the second if, so the 2 conditions are met, then we can put a message called qualified. If we were not done, we're going to put another if. Then the value if false, we leave it empty. You press the space bar. Now, we are not done. Why are we not done? Because the second if, we have filled all the spaces. You can see the second if here, we filled the logical test, we filled up the value if true and the value if false. Now let's go and check the first if. So you go and click just after the first if, it opens for you. There's a space here. You press the space bar. That's also for otherwise. Then okay. There we go. So we get the same answer. So we can use the nested if, or we can use if together with and or if together with or function to achieve the same results. So this is a special case of nested if. It's different from this one. This one here, after every condition, there is a statement or there's something that you must place. But this one, it needs multiple conditions before. And that is why you need to solve the question in that way. There is also another question regarding the nested if. Here, 3 platform, that will be our last question for the day. When we are done, I will make this available to you. I want you to practice them. The video will also be available, and then you will be able to solve these questions. Right. Now, let me open three platforms as well. This one says, insert a nested if function to display the subscription fee for the platform in column C as follows. 900 for users who use Showmax or DSTV. 99 for users who use Netflix. 35, which is in cell L1 for users who use BoxMax and a box office. All other platforms display an empty cell. So now, when a person use Showmax, 900. If a person use DSTV, 900. So you can see that, but then there's a condition here, say, oh, that means both of them use 900. So we can use all function as well. Right, so I'm going to open three platform and solve that question with you from our data files. Let me copy this file also, so that you practice that one as well. All right, let me open three platform. Now, it says when it is Showmax or if it's also DSTV, then it should be 900. If it is Netflix, it should be 99. So we are going to put a message here. This way we must put a function. Equal sign if. Now, because the first condition here says Showmax or DSTV, so we can use a logical function called OR function, OR. Then you open bracket. Then you go to the formula bar, click inside the bracket, open and close for the OR function. Then here, the logical text, you click inside C11 because we are comparing this one. If C11 is equals to DSTV or the same C11 equals to Showmax. So because we are done with the OR function, we go back to the if statement. Just after the if, click there. So value if true will be 900. It says 900 Rand for users who use Showmax or DSTV. And then we come here for value if false. We put another if. Go to the formula bar, click there, and then it gives you the function argument for the second if, for the second condition, which is Netflix. So the logical text is C11 equals to Netflix. If it's equal to Netflix, value if true should be 99. Value if false, you open another if for the next one, which is box office. Box office should be 35. So you go there and click there, and then if C11 is equals to box office. Value if true for box office, they said 35 Rand, which can be found in L1. So here we go and click on L1. But L1 should be fixed. So we must put a $sign to make it absolute. Otherwise, when you drag down, it's going to change. And now, because we have done the last one, all other platforms must be left empty. So here, value if false, we put empty, that is space. And then okay. So here we got 99 rand because it's I think DSTV also. No, it's Netflix, which is 99 rand. Right. So basically, this function here, we have to combine all functions together with if statement to achieve our answer. Right. So this is how we use nested if and then combination of if statement with logical functions. There are more questions that I will give it to you to solve. Then if you get stuck, you let me know. Like here, it's also a nested if, and all these questions are also nested if. But there's one particular one that was more confusing. Let me see if I can get that one for you. Then we can solve that one together. I think it was about Facebook and DSTV. I think it should be somewhere here. If it's not, I'll look for it. Or if you come across it, then you will let me know so that you'll be able to. Yeah, here is it. 3_ survey for 4 marks. It said the learners were asked to list the social media they frequently use. Those who listed WhatsApp and Facebook. You see here, those who listed WhatsApp and Facebook. I'll highlight it, and Facebook are old users. And others are new users. Use the function to determine that. So let's look at that one. 3_ survey. It says those who listed that they use Facebook and WhatsApp, we say old users. The rest are new users. Right. So I think we will, yeah, here is it. But you can see that this question comes in different forms. We have to combine several factors to achieve this answer. It says, those who listed WhatsApp first, those who chose WhatsApp first, and then Facebook second, yes. Those who chose WhatsApp first and Facebook second are called old users. So now, we must put the function here, equal sign, if so now those who chose WhatsApp in the first is in column G, second is in column H. So those who chose WhatsApp first and then Facebook second, we call them old users. The rest are called new users. So if this one, so because we use N function, we must combine it, N. And then you click there. So logical text, the first column, column G. If this one is equals to WhatsApp, and then the second one is in column H, is equals to Facebook. So it says those who chose WhatsApp in column G, and then column H, those who chose Facebook. Then when we are done, we go there. Just after if, we put a message, old users. Otherwise, new users. There we go. So this person is new user because he chose WhatsApp as first, but the second was TikTok, not Facebook. Now here it's old user because WhatsApp is first and then Facebook is second. This question, it needed learners to analyze the data before they start answering the question. So basically, you follow this approach and you'll be able to solve every question regarding nested if function. Right. Now, we will end here like we agreed for 2 hours, and our 2 hours is ended. So we are going to end here. We will continue on Monday. If you have any question, just note your questions down, and then we will continue on Monday. But tomorrow will be grade 10, and then Monday is grade 10, and then as well as grade 12. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for me. Goodbye. Good evening. The link for the video is there, so you can get access to the link